Hello everybody, this is Kickball Jedi, and I just finished watching the Andor series, just wrapped up episode 12, and I just want to say it's fantastic. From the first few minutes where Andor unapologetically blasts an enemy in the face, I've loved the show. There's several different plot lines on several different levels, on several different planets, all throughout the galaxy. Basically, in my opinion, showing the beginning of the Rebel Alliance. So what you have are all these different Rebel factions all over the place, but the Alliance is going to occur once they all unite against the Empire. But out of all the characters and all of the plot lines, my favorite is the relationship between Dedra Meero and Syril Karn. The two of them have this really interesting dynamic, and I just love whenever the two of them interact with each other. You have Dedra, who's trying to prove herself as an Imperial officer. She does have theories that there is a united rebel cause that's occurring, whereas most of the rest of the Empire believes that it's just isolated, independent rebel actions taking place. And then you have Syril Karn, who believes that Cassian Andor is a part of this rebel movement, or at least he focuses especially on Cassian Andor as a dangerous element, and he wants to bring him to justice, almost to a one-track mind mentality. But the two of them together, I think, are just fantastic. So the first thing we're going to look at is from episode 9, Nobody's Listening. Dedra's on her way to her work at the ISB, and Syril waits outside for her to confront her.
Syril Karn.
I know who you are. What are you doing here?
I wanted to thank you for the promotion.
I had nothing to do with it.
Well, my boss seems to think that you did.
We simply gave you a clean bill of health. Have you been waiting out here?
Yes. I'd never lie to you. I needed to find you, and it's not that easy to thank you for what you did and what you're doing. And to follow on and try to follow on the conversation we had last month.
That wasn't a conversation. You were brought in for questioning. Are you stalking me?
I know you work here, and I come sometimes to see if I'll see you.
I am an ISB supervisor. Do you have any idea how much trouble you're in right now?
I thought I had ruined my life. I thought I was done. After meeting you and discovering you understood how dangerous Cassian Andor was, and just being in your presence, I realized that life was worth living. I realized that if nothing else, there was justice and beauty in the galaxy, and if it just kept going. Perhaps my deranged belief that there was something better fated for me in the future was a dream worth clinging to.
I could have you arrested. You're aware of that.
I want what you want. I sense it. I know it.
You're out of your mind. I have already given you a second chance. You come near me again, you pursue any of this, and I swear I'll have you in a cage on the Outer Rim.
So really great scene there, really great dialogue. Listening to it for the first time or casually, you might think that the two characters are going in completely opposite directions. You've got Syril praising Dedra on what a great job she does, her honor, her commitment, all of these things. And then you've got Dedra basically saying, are you crazy? Have you been standing out here all day? You can get arrested for doing this. And then they part ways. But if you look at it closely, what I get out of this is both of them showing respect for the other. Syril starts the conversation by saying, I can't lie to you, and then goes on to name many facts. I respect what you do. I respect the job you're doing. I didn't think there was anybody else out there like me. He really is showing that he understands her and what her goals are. Whereas on her side, and in this case, actions speak louder than words, and also there's a lot of great facial expressions and eye contact in the conversation. What I'm getting out of what she's saying is, you could get arrested for doing this, right? But he does it anyway. Have you been standing out here all day just waiting for me? And then there's an edge of respect for him doing that. And, it just seems like everything she says is, I could do this or I could do that, but she doesn't. And so what I'm getting there is that there's, she's surprised and impressed that he's going through such lengths just to speak to her. So on that conversation, that's what I get out of it. That he is gushing with respect for her, and she is showing respect for him in her own way, as far as not immediately calling security on him, which is what you would normally do if you really thought somebody was crazy and stalking you. But there is an edge of respect there. So the two characters don't run into each other again until episode 12, Rick's Road, where both Dedra and Syril happen to be on the planet Ferrix for the funeral of Marva. Syril is there hoping that Cassian shows up and he can confront him, capture him, kill him. Not really sure what his plan is, but he's there. And Dedra shows up as part of an Imperial complex strategy to try to capture rebels and possibly catch Cassian, who she knows has connections with some of the higher-ups in the rebel organization. Everything comes to a head when the tension between the Empire and the people of Ferrix explodes in violence after a posthumous speech by Marva, and Syril sees his opportunity to step in and save people.
As I say, move! Straight ahead, through the door. Quickly!
You! How?
You were in trouble. Syril.
I knew that. I should say thank you.
You don't have to.
Another great scene between the two characters. You've got Dedra, terrified, violent, afraid, and Syril playing it cool, calm, confident in what he's doing, and they play off each other excellently. When she finds out that it's him, you almost can see that she wants to reprimand him again. She wants to yell at him, but all she can do is say thank you for saving her. I also noticed in this scene and in the previous one that their dialogue is very much the two of them close together. So even in the last segment where they were out in a big open area, they were standing very close to each other. You'd think if there was somebody you were nervous about or who you thought was crazy, you would stand further back. But she has the confidence to stand right up to somebody when she's speaking to them, look them in the eye. And in this one, of course, because they're shoved into the tiny room, it's even more intimate, and they're right up against each other as they're talking. Just a really great job between the two actors and the two characters. Now, where might the two characters go after this? I would say the two of them working together within the ISB would be terrifying for the rebel forces. With Dedra and her violence and interrogation methods and no holds barred, getting the information she needs, and then Syril with his technical savvy and ability to track down the enemies. Like, he pretty much tracked Cassian through the whole season, up until the Imperial prison, where everybody seemed to have lost them. So those two working together could cause a lot of trouble for the rebel forces. I would say they would do things like hunt down the rebels, the leaders, discover who they are, and then hunt them down and kill them. And together they could do a lot of damage in the next 5 years before the Battle of Yavin, or before Rogue One. Now, the show could do a twist where something occurs that makes them join the rebels. I thought about that for a minute, but really this show seems to be much more brutal about the reality of the Empire and the reach of the Empire and the strength of the Empire. So I really think that these two will remain on the Imperial side and, you know, fulfill their destiny as interrogators, enforcers for the Empire in attempting to defeat the rebel forces. But yeah, I just wanted to point out, I just love this relationship between these two. Great actors, great dialogue, great characters, and can't wait to see more of them in season 2, which has been announced that there definitely will be a season 2. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.